Great. So we are doing pretty well. We've delved into general ledgers. We've looked at T accounts and debits and credits. We learned about the accounting equation and about the three main financial statements. That's a pretty good start. It seems like the right moment to introduce one of the fundamental concepts in accounting: double entry bookkeeping. The principle behind it is that every transaction has equal and opposite effects in two or more accounts. This principle guarantees the satisfaction of the accounting equation. So, every time we register an accounting transaction, we need to think of at least two accounts that will be affected by the transaction. This approach was fundamental back in the day when accounting software programs were not available, and accountants needed to be extremely careful in order to avoid mistakes. Today, things are easier because accounting software assists bookkeepers and accountants in recording and reporting on a firm's financial transactions. It is virtually impossible to make an entry without respecting the double entry principle, as an error message would appear on the screen instantly. Nevertheless, it is important to understand the double entry principle because it is at the core of studying accounting. Let's illustrate it with a simple example. Think of a firm that owns only one asset, $1 million in cash. The firm owns only one asset. Good. This is one part of the accounting equation. The other part is liabilities and equity, which, if you remember, show us how the company is financed. So let's suppose that this firm is financed entirely through equity, $1 million of equity. So the two sides of the equation tell us that $1 million of cash are financed by $1 million of equity capital. So far, so good. Let's imagine that the firm buys a real estate property with its $1 million of cash. What will be the necessary entries that would allow us to respect the double entry principle? The firm buys real estate assets. We need to draw a new T account. Let's call it real estate. It is on the asset side. When the company buys the real estate property, the account will increase. It is an asset, and we know that we need to debit the real estate account. Okay. This shows that the firm owns real estate for $1 million. Now we need to think of the counterpart account. How did the company pay for the asset? With cash, right? Therefore, we need to make an entry that shows the reduction in cash. Cash is an asset, and it decreased in this transaction. Hence, we are going to credit the cash account. Okay. This shows that we spent our cash in order to buy the real estate property. You can see how we needed two entries in order to recap the effects of the transaction. The two entries balanced each other. One of them was on the debit side and the other on the credit side. Hence, the accounting equation is still satisfied. Let's make another example. After buying the real estate property, the firm manages to obtain a bank loan for $500,000. What entries need to be made in order to account for this transaction in the balance sheet? First of all, the company received $500,000 in cash, so we need to increase the cash account. This is an asset, hence we will write $500,000 on the left side of the T account. Very good. We debited the cash account. Now we need to think of a second transaction that will restore the balance in our equation. The firm received a bank loan, right? So now it owes $500,000 to the bank. We need to show this on the balance sheet. It will be on the right side of the balance sheet, given that it is a liability. It will create a new T account, bank loans. When a liability is increased, it needs to be credited, which means that we need to write the number on the right side of the account. $500,000 on the right side of the T account. describing bank loans. Now the accounting equation is satisfied. You can see the double entry principle helps us satisfy the accounting equation at all times. It is one of the golden rules of accounting. This is why we'll have to remember it well.